Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and this is the first tech news bulletin of 2019. And this is Thursday, January 3rd, 2019. And today in our tech news, Windows 10. Well, we look at different numbers, and we see that it was closing in on Windows 7 for net applications. There's another company that has statistics that already had put Windows 10 as the most popular Windows version for a while. Well, there's one thing now that both of them agree. Windows 10 has now taken over Windows 7 in Windows market share. So from now on, 2019 means that Windows 10 is running on more computers than Windows 7. And now this is going to be an interesting look at how fast it grows this year, as Windows 7 is soon to expire in a year's time. Apple has done something it doesn't do very often. Actually warned that its iPhone sales were not that great. And basically it sold less, and it actually could take a hit of $9 billion less in revenue. So of course the stock of Apple has gone down, the suppliers of Apple has gone down, and it already had asked its suppliers to slow down the rate at which the iPhone would basically be built at the factories. And now it asked once again to slow it down even more. I guess the iPhone 10 isn't selling that well. Steam users that are on old PCs running Windows XP or Windows Vista, well, I haven't seen anybody complain about it because there's probably very little people still using it. But as announced last year, if you're on Windows XP and Windows Vista, Steam app is supposed to stop working since the 1st of January. So that means that if you want to continue playing games, you'll have to upgrade to something like Windows 7 at least. An interesting patent has been basically created by Microsoft. And, as voice assistants are getting more and more popular, one of the things that they don't tackle is the fact that you might want to issue voice command discreetly. Maybe you don't want to shout that voice command when you're with other people around or in some public place. Well, Microsoft is working on something called silent commands, where you would technically whisper into your devices and still have the commands go through. So this is going to be interesting to see, as pretty much nobody is tackling that feature or that way of doing things. The Google Chrome browser on Android had a flaw that was discovered 3 years ago. And they just fixed it in the latest update to Google Chrome. And you might be wondering, well, 3 years, what the hell happened? Well, basically 3 years ago, a guy found a flaw and actually told Google, hey, there's a flaw here that can be exploited. But Google deemed that it wasn't a security threat until apparently this year they found out that, yeah, after all, it is a security threat. Well, this might have appeared on some Chromecasts. Basically, a hacker called Hacker Giraffe has taken over hundreds of thousands of Chromecasts and routers on the affected TV devices. It displayed this ad that you see here, this information about a security flaw that's not been fixed, and it's been there for years apparently. So now he's showing a proof of concept that, well, you can hack into Chromecasts at a distance. And of course, he took the opportunity to, at the same time, say, hey, you should subscribe to PewDiePie. A Google Chrome browser in the near future will probably obey Windows 10 dark mode and switch to whatever mode that you put your Windows operating system on. This is interesting. Chrome is now actually slowly getting features that will be dependent on Windows 10. It already done so with the notifications that can appear in the Action Center, and now it's dark mode that will be enabled if you enabled this mode in Windows 10. Well, this guy, yeah, AgitPie, apparently in a very nice move, he actually thanked Congress for killing net neutrality. As he says, net neutrality would have prevented the industry from growing, and that basically it was not a good thing for the future. So that's what he says. Anyways, Windows 7. We are January 2019. That means we're a year away from the Windows 7 end of support for most people. As Windows 10, at the beginning, we talked about the fact that it actually has now surpassed Windows 7. Well, this year is going to be interesting to see how fast Windows 7 goes down or not, and how fast Windows 10 grows. A year away from now, there will be no more security updates for Windows 7. Yeah, your Windows 7 operating system won't stop working, but you will be at risk. Only enterprise users will have 3 years of support possibility if you pay for it. A January means what? Of course, every year, beginning of January, you of course have the possibility of Consumer Electronics Show. This is the famous Las Vegas electronics fair where lots of devices, lots of companies are showing off the latest in technology. And of course, it's going to be interesting as every year to just see what is announced here. Well, the Consumer Electronics Show is, of course, next week, January 8th to 11th in Las Vegas. And it's going to be interesting to see because we think it's going to be one hell of a year for assistants. But what else will we find? That's going to be nice. And if you use Facebook Messenger, some of you might have actually a little switch to put it in dark mode. Yep, they're testing out the Facebook Messenger dark mode right now. I checked mine, I don't have it, but apparently some of you do have it. So you can check your settings and see if dark mode is something you can do on your device. If it's not there, apparently it's going to roll out soon. So this is going to be interesting to see. I think dark mode for Facebook Messenger is not going to be a bad thing. I actually like to have as much dark mode as possible on my smartphone. And this was a Tech News Update for January 3rd, 2019. Enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up, and a Happy New Year.